What's going on, family? Welcome back to Israel's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to be discussing the remake from FireStarter. I remember back in the day we had Julie Barrymore, who starred in the role as a young girl, and she knocked it out the ballpark, literally. But in today's era, in the world of remakes, we definitely have something to look forward to with this movie. I came out this movie, watched it on Peacock, and I thought it was magnificent, honestly. This little girl who portrays basically the main character of the story, she knocked it out the park. Not only does she look like Drew Barrymore, but she knocked it out the ballpark in her right. This young actress, her name is Kiera Armstrong, and she plays Charlie McGee, and she was remarkable. Coming into the movie, I anticipated that it was going to be a good movie, but it really blew me away because they took different things from the original and they basically included it here, but made it very different at the same time. And her chemistry alongside Efron was magnificent. His name in the movie is Andy McGee. She goes by Charlie McGee, and they gave the story basically a nice little reboot. It's basically about a young girl who tries to understand how she mysteriously gained the power to set things on fire, basically with her mind. Very similar to the original. And obviously the writers on this movie were legendary. Scott Teems, who basically produced the screenplay, and Stephen King, who this story comes from, with his novel that he wrote back in the day. And this movie also stars Sidney Lemon, and man, where do I start? This movie just, from beginning to end, it's one of those films. What surprised me was it's rated R, because it is violent. It does give you that carnage candy that I'm always excited for, and it's more of a drama, horror, sci-fi, thriller type of movie, and everything in a nutshell. Basically, you have Zac Efron's character along with Sydney's, and they're this couple who get experimented on, whatsoever. They end up falling in love. They end up having this child, and pretty much the rest is history. After being experimented on by a secret government entity in the movie called The Shop. Yeah, pretty cool name, right? Andy develops the psychic powers, the father of Zac Efron, and then he meets his love, the love of his life in the film, and together they have this daughter with a power of her own, and The Shop finds this out, and they do absolutely nothing to hold back and try to get them back. And it's Zac Efron's job to basically, defend her, but what he does instead is teach her how to hone in her powers the best way she can, so that she can end up using them when needed. And they end up going on the run, and boy does she use them, boy does she hone them in, and it makes for an exciting remake. This girl, she has some memorable quotes in this movie, and God, she was amazing. She has a line in the movie, and you see it. She goes, "I'm not special. I'm a monster." And the way she says it, it's incredible, man. You really fall for her. She's one of the best characters on screen when it comes to, young actors. And just recently, I had a review where I was talking about Jacob Tremblay, but this little girl right here, man, I think she's gonna go ahead and do a lot of great things. She has this look, she has this determination about her that you could tell after this movie she's gonna get a lot of looks. And what's really also good about the movie was it's only an hour and a half, and from beginning to end, man, you get straight to the point. That's what I loved about the movie. There's no lackluster. They fleshed some things out. Obviously, I feel like they could have been a little better, but at the same time, for what you're getting, it was not bad at all. And kudos to Blumhouse and Blumhouse Productions. They seem to win. You know what I mean? I haven't really seen anything from Blumhouse that was a complete flop. Not really. I tend to enjoy a lot of their productions, and You know, unlike A24, which I love a lot, but some of them sometimes fall a little flat for me. But I think when it comes to the technical aspects, the color, the visuals in this movie were outstanding. You know what I mean? I think they filmed this movie in a few places, but I think in Canada, and you see, you know, them running from the shop and the things that happen, you know. I saw the original before I actually saw this movie, and because I wanted to see if they were going to remake the whole movie or they were going to take their liberties. And they did take the liberties, but I think it was for the better, honestly. You know, when you're talking about, you know, a little girl that could produce fire straight from her mind, and this is her supernatural power. And we're not talking about an X-Men here. We're talking about a FireStarter. We're talking about a different franchise. You know what I mean? And it's a remake also, a horror remake. You tend to think, you're like, damn, okay. This is going to be a psychotronic film with probably pyrokinesis. She's going to battle. She's going to have migraines. At the end of the day, is she going to be captured by the shop? You know what I mean? And this is based on, obviously, the work of Stephen King, so you know it was going to be very out there when it comes to the content. And, you know, for the first one, I think the first one was pretty much a cult classic. This one, as much as I enjoyed it, I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a cult classic, but it did leave a stain on me. You know what I mean? This movie definitely was enjoyable. And let's talk about Zac Efron for a minute. Man, he's actually playing a dad in this movie, which I thought was very, very different. He's actually old enough now to be Pops. I can't believe it, after him starring in, you know, High School Musical, and then, you know, going on to do a few movies, and then hitting us with the Baywatch movie, which he transformed his body completely, and now he's playing a dad. And he did an exceptional job, you know, for the movie and for the direction they gave him. And his chemistry with Ryan, Kiera, Armstrong was amazing. The chemistry with Sidney Lemon, you know, even the little confrontations he would have with Kurtwood Smith, who I thought was awesome in this film. It was good to see him back on screen after a while. And, you know, you have Michael Grey Eyes as Rainbird in this film, who I thought, when he comes on screen, he really kills it. He really does. I liked the villains of this movie. As you know, that's what usually makes a film. The villain, the antagonist and protagonist have to be strong, and this film not only make them strong, but they definitely knew what they were doing. They definitely, you can tell that they wanted to be in the film, and boy, you're definitely gonna enjoy it. I can't wait for you guys to watch it if you haven't already. You know, Keith Thomas, I think he was the director of this film. I think he really, really nailed it. You know, his direction in this film is everything you want in the film. You know, there's no subtleties. No, he gets straight to the point. He knows what he wanted. He knows why this character does what they do. He was just, you know, amazing all around. The direction he gave this movie, I think, really boosted it compared to what, you know, many people thought it would be. Maybe a lot of people thought it would flop because they were so, you know, attached to the original. And all praise to the original, but this film, for nowadays, especially the special effects in this movie, are ill. You know, I can't wait till this comes out on DVD so that way I could check the special features and see how exactly they did this, because it looked like they used a lot of, it looks like they used a lot of, like, you know, actual physical effects. You know, it doesn't look too much like special effects was used, or there was green screens of any kind, and I'm sure they were. But, you know, these practical effects are what make horror movies and what pushed them to be all-time greats. And I think in this one, I'm gonna go ahead and see it again, obviously, but I think this one really knocked it out the park with that. The special features are amazing. You know, the things that she does in this film and the way she portrays it, and she makes it so believable. I think, you know, those things definitely elevated the film. And with that being said, I think you're gonna enjoy the ending of this film as well, without being spoiled, without spoiling for you. But definitely go check out this film. I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. Simply for it was just action packed. Definitely had the horror aspects, and it's very, very thrilling. So definitely go check it out. Let me know what you think in my Discord. And if you want more content from me, man, all you gotta do is share, notify. Please don't forget to subscribe. Till the next one. Peace.